Hi, I'm Conrad, the head tutor at Greenhouse Learning, and this is just going to be a little tutorial on how to use TutorCruncher, all the bits and bobs that come with it, how to do session reports, how to apply for jobs, and how all of that links to your pay at the end as well, and how you can find all that information. So when you make an account and you log on, this is what you're going to see, and this is just going to tell you how many students you've got, how many hours you've taught, how much you've been paid, and how much work you're yet to be paid for, all in the last 60 days. You can also just have a look at your upcoming lessons if you plan them in advance and your recent lessons that you've had. This is a demo site at the moment, so some things are going to look a little bit different, but I'll show you which bits look different. This is just a general overview of how many hours you've taught and how much you've been paid. And then you can see the dates at the bottom. And then this is going to be your profile here. This is where all the information that you've put about yourself is going to be in. That's not my current address, so don't visit it. I won't be there. So let's have a look. So this is where we're going to find our payment orders. So this is going to be really handy for when you're doing your tax returns. You've got all the information about how much you've been paid and when. So this will come up every 2 weeks when you get paid. And you can see, if you click into it in more details, you can see which sessions got you that amount of money, how much you got paid for each session, all that stuff. So anything to do with money, you can find in your payment orders. This is going to be where your calendar is. So this is where you're going to see the lessons you've planned in the future if you've planned them, and the past lessons you've done and the cancel sessions. As you can see, I've got a few there. This is going to look a little bit more full when we go through how to do session reports and how to manage this. But first, let's look at the available jobs. So this is all the available jobs. This is where all the available jobs will be when they get put up. You can have a look to see which ones you're qualified for. But if you like looking for a job, then you can click here to apply for it. And this screen is going to tell you how many people have applied for it so far. General stuff about the client, the subject, whether it's inline or on person, and the rate in which this job will pay you. And then when you click on it, it'll give you more description. You can see stuff like where the student goes to school, if that's relevant, the student's hobbies and interests, what they're struggling with, how they think they learn, if there's any SEN issues, all that stuff will be found here. And if you think that you're a right match for this job, then you just click on apply job. This is a really, really important bit, and it's really important that you do a good application, because realistically there's going to be loads of tutors applying for this, so you want to make sure your application stands out if it's a job that you're interested in. So a general good rule of thumb is to kind of put why you want this job, what skills you have in this certain area, what degree have you got, have you got any experience tutoring in this subject before. Why you'd link to the client. So like I said, it'll be their client's hobby and interest. You share similar interests with the client. Do you think you can be on board with them on that level as well? Because that makes the tutoring a lot easier when you get on with the client well and the student. And then general information about yourself, stuff you can put here to stand out, any experience you've got that's maybe slightly linked but not directly linked. Anything you can put to stand out from the other tutors you need to put in here. And then once you've done all that, then you can press save. And now you've applied for that job. And then we can look at the current applications. So I've got 2 pending. And here it will see that they're just waiting to go through. And then obviously once you've applied, you'll have a phone interview for the job. And then if you get it, you'll get an email and another phone call. And if you haven't, then it'll come up on here. And now we can have a look at all of the jobs that you're currently working on. So I've got one GCSE English. So if I've created a session, then I can go here. So if I want to plan for a session. So say I've got a session tomorrow with this client. Then here's where I just put the times in. So say we did it at 4. It'll automatically put it to an hour. But if it was longer, you can put it here and you can see this changes as well. So let's say this was an hour and a half. Come up here. And then the time you've put here will automatically relate to your pay. So if this was £20, then it would be that amount for 2.5 hours. And then here you can put a little topic of the lesson, depending on what it is, if you've got a few, or you can just put lesson. And then you press here, schedule future session. And then you can see it's all planned. If we look on our calendar, there it is. And then once you've completed that session, you can click on more details, press complete, and it'll take you to the session report. And we're going to do that in a second. Also, if this time has passed, so say it is tomorrow, it will come up here, and then you click here, complete session as well. Okay, so let's look at if you've already done the session. It's the exact same thing. You just put it into a later date. So say it happened yesterday at midday. I'll put the session and then put reward session, and it takes us straight to this. So these are 5 different fields that you fill in when you've done a session report. So just content covered, just what you did that session, what you did with the client, what stuff you went over. Progress during the session, how did they get on? How were they feeling? If that's something that you need to be talking about, how they were doing. Goals for the next session. So what you're going to be doing next time. Are you going to be building on the skills you've learned today? Have you got a whole lesson plan sorted? And then just the overall progress. Obviously, if this is your first session with a client, you don't need to put anything because it's the first one. But if you've done a few and you want to show how your client has progressed, then you put it in here. And then just general comments. So, if you're working with a third party like a school or LPW and there's just something you want to make about the sessions, whether you think you need more support, whether the attendance isn't great, anything that's not directly related to the sessions. I wished my client happy birthday in here the other day because I knew it was his birthday. But these are the ones that need filling in. So if you try and submit a report without doing it, it's a no-go. I'm just going to do this. Just take it to the next bit, and then we can leave that one blank. So I go save report, and then we can see that it's come up here and it's green because it's been completed. It's been going through, and then that's going to go into my pay. Now, there are 2 ways to cancel sessions on TutorCruncher, and I'll show you how to do that now. So with cancelling sessions, if the client has cancelled the session, within 24 hours, then you can cancel but still chargeable. If they cancelled 25 hours ago, then you can't. If a day ago, then you can't charge for that. Well, not a day, 2 days ago. And if you cancelled it for whatever reason, then you can't charge it. So I'll show you how to do that now. So if we go on my jobs, we are going to make a session. So again, it's the same future. It's going to be the same screen if you do it in the future or you do it in advance. We'll do it in advance so we get straight there. So I did it for last week. That's fine. That's it. We go record session. And then here we can just put cancelled. That's 24 hours. And then if you've got a reason, you can just put like illness. And then obviously because it's cancelled, we don't need to put anything in here. And then general comments. So now we go on save report. And now because it's cancelled, what we need to do, we need to press on general. And then we don't press this cancel here. We need to press the drop down to go on cancel but still chargeable. If we press this, it'll cancel but not charge. So this is if you've cancelled or it was done in advance. But because it was cancelled, we press cancel but still chargeable. And then we put the reason here. And then we press cancel session. And now, even though it's been cancelled and shown as cancelled, we still get paid for that session. Cool. So here we can look at all the reports we've done in the past. So if you want to check up on a student, see what you did last week, or if you haven't had a student in a while and you want to remember what you did, then you press here. So this is what I did earlier. And then you can just have a look at your past sessions. And that is pretty much everything about TutorCruncher. If you've got any issues, if you've accidentally made a mistake, you've put something in the wrong place, or you've said something, or you've cancelled something, but you still want it chargeable, but you didn't press that. If you email them in the office, then they can sort that out for you. But obviously do that as quick as you can. Don't leave it pending for a few months before you message them, because then you won't get paid for it. If you've left it after that pay slip comes in, then it gets very, very tricky to then change it around. So if you do make a slight mistake, it's absolutely fine. Just make sure that you email the office about it after. Okay, but that's pretty much everything. And good luck with your session reports in the future.